It was a morning like any other when suddenly Charles Lopez says he heard a large booming sound and felt a shockwave run through the board. The next thing he knew, he was in the water, along with 2 pieces of his board. It was only when he looked back at the footage he'd captured of the moment the rock hit his board that he saw what a close call it really was. He told GBC he didn't see any indication that it was anything other than a natural rockfall, but that it happened so fast he had no time to think, only to react. According to stand-up paddleboarding experts Into Adventures, the incident appears to be out of the ordinary.
It's quite unusual to see a rockfall like that at sea. I mean, I'm a rock climber as well, so when you're rock climbing, it tends to happen a little bit more often. But I've never experienced that. I've never seen it, and I've not had anybody else tell me that they've experienced it. So it's quite unusual.
Charles Lopez was with a friend at the time. He says you never go out alone, as you never know what might happen, and thankfully a crew of a small boat helped him back to shore. Safety at sea is a key aspect of SUP training.
So part of our risk assessment includes rockfalls, so we do try and avoid the impact area, so we stay away from the cliff or we stay really close to the cliff to avoid that impact area. The advice I'd give anybody going out on a paddleboard would be, first of all, make sure you check the weather and currents and don't go out beyond your ability. Second, always wear a leash. That is, should be the first rule of stand-up paddleboarding. Never go out on your own. Always go out at least in a pair. Wear a personal flotation device, because if you do lose your board, then you'll be able to float. And the most important piece of advice is carry a mobile phone, so you can phone for help. They've got little waterproof bags, and you should always have a mobile phone with you.
Now you might be wondering how fast that rock was travelling. We asked a former maths teacher to calculate the speed.
The calculation is we need to multiply, it's v squared equals u squared plus 2as. So you need to multiply gravity by 2 and then by 100, which is, I'm assuming, a 100-meter drop. So that's 2,000, and the square root of 2,000 is around 45 meters per second. Now, 45 meters per second on the paddleboard is around 161 kilometers per hour. So that's what the paddleboard got hit by at the time of impact.
161 kilometres an hour could have been fatal, but thankfully the only damage sustained was to Charlie's paddleboard.